Good morning, students. Myself, Mahima Seth. Today we will study chapter 3, that is computer virus. Now, whenever we study any topic, the first question which comes in our mind that what is the meaning of that topic. So, as we are studying about computer virus today, so what is a computer virus? A computer virus is nothing but a computer program with negative thought, with negative effect. Okay, so a computer virus is a computer program that attacks a computer. It is written by virus programmers. The full form of virus is Vital Information Resource Under Siege. It can copy itself, attach itself to other applications or to other files, and can also infect our computer. Many of us have heard about this term virus earlier also. Whenever we are using any secondary secondary storage devices like CD or pen drive, many of you have heard that people wants you that first you must scan that CD or first you must scan that pen drive before using into your computer system. Then why the people wants us? The only reason behind this is that there is the possibility that maybe some virus gets attached to that particular CD or to that particular pen drive, and whenever you will attach those secondary storage devices to your system, the virus comes to your system also. So it is always a precautionary measure to first scan the secondary storage devices and then to use it into our system. So a virus is nothing but a computer program which is being designed with a negative thought to infect our computer, to damage our computer, or you can say to damage the data stored in our computer. In simple term, we can say that a virus is nothing but a guest program which enters in our computer system without taking our permission. When it enters our computer, it can damage our hardware, it can damage our software, it can damage the data stored in our computer system, and can also replicate itself. Now, what is replicate? Replicate means it can make several copies of itself and get attached to other data, to other file stored in the computer system, and can damage it also. Now, the history of virus. The first computer virus which was developed was called Creeper. It was invented in the early 1971 by Bob Thomas. Earlier, when this virus was developed, it was not recognized by the name virus because only a program was developed to display a message. But some people with the negative thought used that program in another manner, and from there the word arises, that is virus. Virus means a simple program with a infected with a you can say harmful effect which can damage the system. So we can also say this, that a computer program written intentionally to enter a computer without the user's permission or knowledge means a program which is designed only to disrupt, only to infect, only to damage the work of the computer. A virus attaches itself to file or boot sectors and copies itself, thus continuing to spread. So here what we called replicate, that it replicates itself and attaches to several other files and infect it also. Some virus do little other than replicate. However, other can cause serious damage or can severely affect program and system performance. Now the type of computer virus. There are many types of computer viruses. For example, boot sector virus, Trojan horse, program file virus, worm, polymorphic virus, network virus, directory virus, sweepers, malware, computer worms, spyware, etc. All these viruses, according to its name, is responsible for damaging different parts of computer system. Like the first is boot sector virus. Now boot sector virus is a virus which directly affects the boot sector area of the computer system. A hard disk or hard drive consists of smaller sections known as sectors. The first sector is known as boot sector. The boot sector is the area of a hard disk that stores all the valuable information required to boot our computer system, and this is the virus which directly affects that system. And the effect of this virus is that when this virus enters in our computer system and it affects our boot sector, then it creates the problem in booting up the computer system. Now the second is Trojan horse. Trojan horse is a coded program that masks the existence of a virus or malware by making it appear friendly. It steals information from the computer system. Trojan horse can appear as a game or any mobile application and can damage our computer system by showing it as a friendly app or a friendly game. Now next comes the worm. A worm is a malicious program that duplicates itself. It creates copies of itself and fill up the disk space with these copies. And the effect of this is that it slows the processor speed, it slows down the system. Some examples of worms are MS Blast, Miclango, etc. Next is the network virus. A network virus is a virus which enters the system through a network. As many of you have seen that whenever your system is connected with the network, you must have seen that various advertisements, various pop-up windows opens when you search something in that network. That if you open that particular pop-up window or that particular advertisement which is not at all means to you, that particular window can contain virus. So this is all the network virus which comes through the network, and the quality of this network virus is that it multiplies itself, it replicates itself, and once it enters your system, it creates a replica of itself and gets attached to various other devices and affects the system badly. Email virus. Now email virus uses email messages to spread, which allow it to automatically forward itself to thousands of people. It means that this virus is nothing but what it does, it forward an email to thousands of people without the knowledge of that particular owner. Now next comes the symptom. That what are the symptoms that our computer might have a virus? First, it's slow response and slow program execution. If our computer system has got some virus, then suddenly the processor speed of the computer system will slow down or the execution of the program will slow. Second, random hard drive crashes and restart. Third, distorted graphics and text. Fourth, files that have mysteriously vanished. Fifth, PC speaker beeps periodically. Sixth, inability to open file with existing password. So these are the symptoms which shows that our computer might get affected by the virus. Now how can we get a virus? As I have already told you that there are several means by which we can have virus in our computer system. Like we can have virus through network, internet, we can have virus through CDs, through pen drive, it means through other secondary storage devices. So here are the few devices or the few measures with which we can get a virus in our computer system. The first is the floppy disk. Even the most trusted of friends might hand you a computer virus on that disk, and don't think brand new, straight out of the package software is always virus free. It can also contain virus. It is not necessary that if you have got a floppy disk from a very closest friend of yours, then there might not be a possibility of having a virus. There might be a possibility of having a virus. So it is necessary to have the precautionary measures so that our system will not get affected by the virus. Second, the internet. Someone could very easily post a desktop theme or a screensaver on the internet, and then we download and run it. That is, we install it, and we are now, the computer is infected. So this is also one means of having a virus. That suppose if somebody wants to change the theme of the desktop or want to change the screensaver of our system, and what we do, we simply just search for a screensaver or search for a desktop theme, and we install it without thinking about that there is a possibility that with that screensaver or with that desktop theme, a virus can also get installed in our computer system. So this can also be the one reason of entering a virus into our computer system. Third is email. Only an .exe or .com file can contain a virus. Although we can't attach a virus from the email itself, be careful of those attachments and watch out for those of you that use such program as Microsoft Word as your email reader. Many emails are sent in a MS Word format, and guess what? Those are executable attachments. If you are set up to automatically use MS Word as your reader, you might execute the virus by simply reading the email. So there is a possibility that if you have got an email with the attachment, and if that attachment has got .exe or .com file, then that particular attachment might be a virus. And if Microsoft Reader or .exe is can automatically runs in your system, then you might be affected by the virus. The fourth is network. The several computers which are connected to the network are called network. For example, one file might be used by several groups within a network, so only one copy is maintained and all the computer in those group will have access to it. If it is infected, so then might all the users in that group gets affected. Okay, so how can we get virus through network? If we are using any one file which is an important file throughout the computer system which is connected to the network, then there might be a possibility that that file can have a virus, and all those systems which uses that file will also get affected by the virus. Now how do I protect myself from computer virus? So here are some precautionary measures which we can take to protect ourselves from computer virus. The first one is use a high quality antivirus program and be sure to update it regularly. Use it to scan any file, program, software or diskette before we use them on our computer. Second, make backup copies of important documents or file and store them on separate disk. Many backups will also protect our information against accidental deletion, disk failure and other damages. Third, whenever we use a computer in a computer lab, be sure to reboot or run cleanup before we start our session and log out when we end our session. So, when we reboot our system and run cleanup, then whatever file which is opened in our computer system will it means our system will automatically get refreshed, and when we log out our system after completing our work, after completing our session, then whichever file is opened in our cache memory also, that also will get closed. Next, whenever we use a computer in a campus lab, be sure to reboot or run cleanup before we start our session. This we have already discussed. Next, do not share commercial software with anyone. It is a violation of copyright law and it is a way to spread virus also. We should not share our commercial softwares because this is also the violation of law and this can also spread virus in other systems. Always scan our disk and files after using them on another computer. Always scan all files we download from the internet. So these all are the precautionary measures which we can take to protect our computer from the attack of computer virus. Now, another word which comes across when we read this chapter is antivirus. So antivirus is nothing but a software. Antivirus is a software, or we can say is a computer program that identifies computer virus and try to remove it also, or try to repair our computer system also, and other malicious software like worms and trojans from an infected computer. Not only this, an antivirus software also protects the computer from further virus attack. What an antivirus does? We can say that an antivirus works as a protective wall against our computer system, that if any virus attacks our computer system, then that virus has to first deal with that protective wall created by the antivirus, and if that antivirus is able to deal with that virus, then our computer will be saved from the attack of that virus. Now antivirus comes in many varieties, or we can say there are different types of antivirus available in the market. Few we'll discuss. First is the AVG. AVG is one of the most popular antivirus that can be obtained for free and is easy to download directly from the internet. It can also work with a number of different Windows systems. It has the ability to hold virus files in quarantine so that they cannot do any harm before they can be checked and deleted. So what this AVG does? First of all, AVG is free and it can be easily downloaded from the internet. The second is that it works with different versions of Windows available, and the foremost quality it has got is that it holds the virus in a quarantine, in a separate place, and it will not allow that virus to harm our computer system unless and until those files are checked and deleted. Second is McAfee. McAfee Virus Scan has been the second most popular antivirus program on the market. It provides for spyware and virus protection under one program rather than separately as many other programs do. It is necessary download when they are required. Now, another antivirus which is available in the market and which is also the most popular is the McAfee virus. What it does, it also provides for spyware and virus protection under one program. It means that in only one antivirus, it first of all checks that none of the virus attacks our system. It means it acts as a protective wall also. And the second thing is that it also try to recover, it also try to repair our system if some of our files get damaged, or uh, or it also tries to remove, and it also tries to search and remove those viruses which has affected our computer system. So like these two, many of the antiviruses are available in the market which we can use to protect our computer system. But the foremost thing which we must be aware is that whenever we are using any antivirus, then we have to frequently update that antivirus according to the version of the computer system. Now, the safety measures for virus. Run a secure operating system like Unix. Buy virus protection softwares and install in PC. Avoid program from unknown sources like internet. Use commercial softwares. Do not use the pirated software, because pirated software can have the attachment of the virus programs. For Microsoft application, macro virus protection should be enabled. Never download unknown email attachments, because as I have already told you that email attachments can have .exe or .com files which can automatically run and can be stored as a virus in the computer system. Block receiving and sending executable codes. Until and unless you are sure and you are aware of that executable file, do not receive any executable code, as well as do not send any executable code from your computer system. And the best and the foremost solution is the antivirus software. Like I have already told you that always protect your computer system with the antivirus software. Always install a good antivirus system and update it frequently so that our computer system will not be get affected by the computer virus. Now, the advantages of antivirus. Now, all those disadvantages, or you can say all those uh, harmful effects which a virus can cause to our computer system, those are the advantages of antivirus. Like, first advantage is that the computer runs slowly, random restart, unknown and uninstalled icons on desktop, icon change in appearance, system memory and disk space is reduced, new windows opens up at an alarming rate, error message on regular basis, files mysteriously disappears. Disadvantages of antivirus is that when we install any antivirus, our computer runs slowly. Random restart, unknown and uninstalled icon on desktop, icon changes in appearance, system memory and disk space is reduced, new window opens up at an alarming rate, error message on regular basis, file mysteriously disappears. So what we studied here, the advantages of antivirus. These are not the advantages of antivirus, these are the disadvantages of antivirus. So the disadvantage of antivirus is that that the computer runs slowly, random restarts are there, unknown and installed icons on desktop, icon changes in appearance, new windows opens at an alarming rate, error messages on a regular basis, and file mysteriously disappears. But beside all these disadvantages of antivirus, there are few advantages of antivirus. The advantages is that it protects our computer system. Second, it acts as a protective wall against virus. So these two advantages will hide all the disadvantages of antivirus. So we must protect our computer system with the antivirus software. Thank you, class.